Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Please, would you like to see? Yes. Please join me in Gasho. How joyous I am, Gutoku Shinran, disciple of Shakyamuni, rare is to come upon the secret scriptures from the westward land of India and the commentaries of the masters of China and Japan. But now I have been able to encounter them. Rare is it to hear them, but already I have been able to hear, reverently entrusting myself to the teaching, practice, and realization that are true essence of the Pure Land Way. I am especially aware of the profundity of the Tathagata's benevolence. Here I rejoice in what I heard and extol what I have attended. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. My name is Rev Chiemi August. I will introduce a little bit about myself because on the Zoom attendance, so seems like there are some new people, the first time attendance to our Twin Cities Buddhist Sangha service. So welcome. Thank you for coming. So my name is Chiemi August, and I serve here as assistant minister at the Twin Cities Buddhist Sangha. I was born and raised in Japan in a Jodo Shinshu temple family. So the Buddhism has been close to me since my childhood. In 2000, I moved to the United States, and for many years now, I have lived here in Minnesota, only in Minnesota, with my husband, our 3 children, and our dog named Chui. My daily life, I am not only a minister, but I also a mother of 3 children and a dog, a wife of my husband, and a neighbor, and a teacher sometimes. I used to teach at the Japanese school for the high school students. So teaching, cooking, doing chores, and then walking our dog Chewy every day. So like everyone else, my life is full of both joys and struggles. So the hopes and then disappointments. So today, as I share this Dharma talk, Dharma message, I do so not as someone who has all the answers. So, but as a fellow human being, an ordinary, imperfect person trying to live with a gratitude in an embrace of Amida's compassion. So the Buddhism, the Buddha taught that human life is marked by 4 realities: birth, aging, sickness, and death. So these are things none of us can avoid. Along with this, there are many parts of life that do not go the way we want them to. So we have hopes and dreams, but life often unfolds differently. Sometimes, even when we try our very best, life does not reward our efforts. Like a student may study all night, but still fail the exam. I experienced a lot. A person may work faithfully at the company only to lose their job when the circumstances change. We may carefully plan for the future only to see everything shift in ways we never expected. And perhaps the most painful reality, we know that we will one day be separated from those we love most. We do not know when the time will come. That uncertainty, the knowledge that we cannot hold on forever, it's something almost unbearable to face. Yet Buddhism begins by asking us to see this truth clearly. Life does not always go according to our plans. It is precisely from this deep awareness of impermanence and limitation that the Buddhist path opens before us. The Jodo Shinshu tradition teaches us how to live with reality of life. We do not try to escape suffering, and we do not deny it. Instead, we are embraced by the great compassion of Amida Buddha, like being held safely in the strong arm of the parent. So Shinran Shonin, our founder, in his most important writing in the Kyogyo Shinsho, the true teaching, practice, and realization of the Pure Land Way, wrote these words: to say the name of Amida Buddha with sincere mind is called the proclamation of the lion's roar. Just as the lion's roar echoes powerfully and cannot be silenced by any other sound, the Nembutsu resound as the truth of Amida's vow, breaking through all fear and confusion. I will explain more about the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu later. Jodo Shinshu is not a religion of fear or obligation. It is a religion of gratitude and joy. Even while carrying the burdens of life, we are supported by boundless wisdom and compassion that never lets us go. So let me share about the Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu, because we have some first-time attendance today. So he was born in Japan about 850 years ago. At the age of 9, he entered the Buddhist path as a monk. For 20 years, he lived on Mount Hiei near Kyoto, the very strict and demanding place of Buddhist training. So their monks practice severe disciplines, hoping to achieve enlightenment through their own effort. But the age of 29, 20 years later, Shinran Shonin realized that something important. No matter how hard he tried, true liberation could not be gained through the self-power alone. So the harder he struggled, the more he saw his own limitations. So he made a bold decision. He left the mountain. After leaving, Shinran Shonin was searching for the path that was not only for himself, but for all people. It was then that he encountered his teacher. The teacher's name is Honen Shonin, who taught the Pure Land Way. So Honen Shonin's message was very simple, yet profound. Amida Buddha's vow is for everyone, without exception. To say the name Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, is to be embraced by that vow. So Shinran Shonin devoted his life to sharing this truth, but it was not easy. The government at the time forbade the spread of Honen Shonin's teaching. The Shinran Shonin himself was exiled, punished for bringing the Buddha Dharma to ordinary people. Unlike many monks, Shinran Shonin also married and had a family. So he lived not only as a teacher or as a monk, but also as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather, facing the same joys and struggles as we do. So this is why his teaching continues to speak to us today. So he lived as a human being among human beings. So through his life, the Shinran Shonin showed us that the Buddha Dharma is not just for monks or scholars. So it is for all of us, for ordinary people with our imperfections, mistakes, and struggles. And yet, we are all equally embraced by Amida Buddha's great compassion. So for those of you who are here for here for new to the Jodo Shinshu teaching. So you may notice that the people around you through the Zoom, they're saying the words Namo Amida Butsu. So you might hear like a Nam Mandab. So it's the same, so the shorter, easier version to say Namo Amida Butsu. So if you have never heard this before, it might sound unfamiliar, or you may wonder, what does it mean? So in Jodo Shinshu, this phrase is very important. It is called Nembutsu, Nembutsu. And it is a heart of our tradition. So let me share the simple story from my own life that helps me reflect on the meaning of the Nembutsu. I hope it helps to understand, or maybe you might feel what it is. So at my home, I have a dog named Chui. He's very sweet. Every day I take him for a walk. So because I live in the kind of the suburb of the Twin Cities, we often see many animals, deer, ducks, rabbits, squirrels, and especially geese. So one day we came across a large group of geese, large, I don't know, 20 of them or so. So it looked like 2 or 3 families are walking together. So as usual, I told Chewy, don't bark at them. Don't scare them. Oh no, but of course, he's just a dog. So, and then it's not easy for him. So, and then suddenly he just ran toward them and rah, 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 barking very loudly. And then all the geese all flew away together to safety, except for one. One goose was left behind on the ground. Then something remarkable happened. The geese, the big group of geese that had flown away did not just keep going. They just circled back and they began to cry out loudly. They didn't come back right away. They are crying like, "Arr, arr, arr," as if to say, don't worry, we are here with you. Sounds like to me. So they refused to leave until the one goose was able to catch up and then rejoin the group. So that the little goose is also crying like, I'm here. And then the big crowd of the geese was saying like, don't worry, I'm here, we are here waiting for you. When I saw this, I thought about Nembutsu. In our human lives, sometimes we feel left behind, weak, lost, or unable to keep up. But the calling of Namo Amida Butsu is like those geese circling back. It is Amida Buddha's voice saying, don't be afraid, I will not abandon you. You belong, you are embraced. In Jodo Shinshu, we do not say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, as a request or to task the Buddha for something we want. Instead, we understand Namo Amida Butsu as Amida Buddha's voice calling to us, saying, urging me to entrust myself to the Buddha. I will embrace you just as you are. When we hear this call, the words naturally come from our lips. It is not about reciting it in a right way or about how many times we say it a day or anything like that. Even if the words feels a little strange at the first time, as they often do for us who speak English. So what matters is not how perfect it sounds. So what matters is that those are these words. So we are touched by Amida's wish that all beings to be freed from suffering. The Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, arises as a response of the gratitude and joy for this compassion that has already reached us. In this way, Namo Amida Butsu is more than just thank you. It is the expression of living each day with a heart of gratitude, knowing that Amida's vow has already embraced us and then continues to support our lives. This is the way of life in Jodo Shinshu. Amida Buddha's compassion is already reaching us here and now. We cannot always see it directly with our human eyes. But it is just like a gravity. So we don't see gravity. It's just we cannot see gravity itself, but when we see the apple fall in the ground, we know it is there, right? So in the same way, through invisible, Amida's vow is working in our lives. We may glimpse it in the kindness of others, in the beauty of nature, or in a small moment when we feel supported even in the difficult times. These moments remind us that Amida's vow is not distant hope, but a living reality. Amida Buddha's compassion embraces not only human beings, but all living beings. So through the activities of life itself, we may sometimes feel and recognize this walking that never abandons us. So today, we sit together in the United States, in Minnesota, very far from India, China, and in Japan, where this teaching was nurtured. So how wonderful is that the Dharma has closed oceans and then cultures and then languages, and now reaches us here. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, sat under the Bodhi tree in India and awakened to the truth of life. His wisdom traveled across Asia, carried by countless people who treasured it. The Shinran Shonin shared it widely in Japan 850 years ago. And now, here we are, sitting together in Minnesota, or wherever we may be, listening to the same Dharma, Buddha Dharma. This is truly something to be grateful for. So what does it mean to follow the Jodo Shinshu path in our daily life? It doesn't mean that we never suffer again, or it doesn't mean we suddenly become perfect. Rather, it means that we entrust our imperfect lives, just as they are, to the great compassion of Amida Buddha. When we say Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, we are expressing our gratitude and joy. We are saying, I am not alone. I am embraced just as I am. So to those of you who are here for the first time, welcome again. The Buddhism, and especially Jodo Shinshu, is not about escaping life. It is about seeing life clearly with all of its joys and sorrows, and realizing that even in this imperfect life, we are held by infinite compassion that never abandons us. It is a path of awakening, gratitude, and joy. Please join me in Gasho. How joyous I am, Gutoku Shinran, disciple of Shakyamuni. Rare it is to counter upon the secret scriptures from the western land of India and in the contemporaries of the masters of China and Japan, but now I have been able to encounter them. Rare is to hear them, but already I have been able to hear, reverently entrusting myself to teaching, practice, and the realization that are the true essence of the Pure Land Way. I am especially aware of the proudty of the Tathagata's benevolence. Here I rejoice in what I have heard and extol what I have attended. Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo